You know what happens when you have great quality cheese and even better quality beef? Your queso game has just been upgraded. Stick around and make it with me. I wanted to develop this recipe because I cook a lot for my family, and it's really important to me that I'm feeding my family great quality ingredients. We also happen to love queso. So great quality ground beef, great quality sharp cheddar and Monterey Jack cheeses with all the familiar fixins come in with it. Let's get started. I'm going to start by browning my ground beef in a skillet, and I'm using an 80-20 blend here for really great beefy flavor. Be sure to break up your ground beef really fine so all of those crumbles are evenly distributed throughout your beef dip later. Once your ground beef is fully cooked, let it drain on a few paper towels just to get rid of that excess grease. In the same pan, I'm going to add a little bit of oil and get my chopped onion and garlic going to get a nice saute and a little bit of browning in that pan. So I pay attention here and really focus on the size of my onion dice. You want to really imagine yourself dipping a chip into this dip. So get those onions pretty small, but still big enough to see them so you know they're in the dip. Getting my onions into the pan, the goal here is just to cook them down a little bit to have all of those juices break out of the onion and get that garlic caramelized a little bit. But we're not looking for mushy onions. This is a dip that you really want to taste those onions with. One of the key ingredients in my queso recipe is actual fresh cheese that I grate myself. The stuff in the bag just doesn't add as much high quality flavor to this recipe. So now that my onions are at a good place, I'm going to add my seasoned tomatoes and canned green chilies to the skillet. And with the onion and garlic, I'm just gonna give this a good stir and get all of these flavors really blended together. So now that our onions and tomato and fresh garlic and green chilies have been simmering for a little bit and really marrying in flavor, this is where we're gonna add our dry spices and let it continue to simmer for a few minutes to really blend everything together and get it nice and aromatic. Something I like to do that's a really great tip for this recipe is adding a bit of cornstarch to my freshly grated cheeses. I toss it all together to make sure the cheese is coated, and this ensures even melting and no clumps. At this stage, we're going to add our evaporated milk to the onion, tomato, and chili mixture, slowly blending together. This is where the creaminess really starts to appear. This evaporated milk is a really great way to ensure that everything melts evenly and stays nice and creamy. Now it's time for the cheese. Evenly sprinkle the freshly grated cheese into the skillet, continuously stirring until combined and creamy. This is where that fresh cheese will pay off. It melts so quickly and so evenly, you'll be very satisfied that you've used fresh cheese. Add in your fully cooked ground beef into the skillet and fold it into your beautiful dip. My last tip and trick for this recipe is adding in a little bit of sour cream at the end. Once you fold in this dollop of sour cream, it adds a little bit of welcomed tang and acid to balance out that creamy cheese. And now it's time to plate up your queso. And because of the great quality ground beef that we've put into this dip, I'm gonna go ahead and use it as a garnish. Maybe throw on a little bit of pickled jalapeno. It's all up to you how you'd like to garnish your dip. And this, my friends, is why you take the extra time to use some fresh cheese and great quality beef in your queso. It's instantly upgraded. I'm gonna eat this entire bowl. Okay, so like and subscribe. See you in the next video.